Hi, Dr. Steve G. Jones here with Kevin Harrington, the original shark on Shark Tank. And you're behind the scenes again. We're going to be filming an informational program designed to help people live at their highest potential, help them get the wealth that they want. We'll be asking each other questions. So we're going to let you sit in on it. You're going to get a preview of this program that won't be launched for a few months. Kevin, you want to say anything about it?
Well, you know, it's behind the scenes. Come on back and see when we film. You know, we're in a studio. We're filming. We got cameras, lights, action, all that good stuff. So, yeah, there you go. So this is raw footage that we're shooting. Eventually, it gets edited into short little kind of cool soundbitey kind of stuff, right,
Yeah,
Steve?
yeah, exactly. Yep. 10-minute chunks.
This is where it all starts. So, you know, bringing you backstage as we do all this fun stuff.
Absolutely. So here are the people who make it all happen. I'm going to go ahead and there they are. There they are. All right. And we're going to go ahead and mount this now so we can get started. Going to put this here. If you're just joining us, go ahead and like this. Go ahead and share this with your friends. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And a rare behind-the-scenes view of Kevin Harrington, the original shark on Shark Tank, and me, Dr. Steve. And we're going to set this up and let you sit in on the first module. I'll go ahead and do this. Alrighty. I wouldn't worry, we'll crop it later. Let's see how this is looking. We're just setting everything up, and got some pros here today, so rather than just me in a hotel room messing with my cell phone, we've got some actual professionals who know what they're doing. All right, and we're ready, guys? All right, we are ready. So I'm going to step away, won't be able to answer your questions. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Zilia. Hello, Jahira. Hello, everyone. And here we go.
This is hard out of 10.
Yep, you got it.
Okay,
Yeah, you're going to
so
give us a...
I'll give you a 2-minute, a 1-minute, and count it down.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, stand by.
Hopefully
Are we
we'll
open
figure it
now?
out, but
Yeah, we'll just
do it.
We'll make it happen. There you go.
So you're opening?
And where you're going to be and you're okay?
Well, there won't. Let's see. Let's do a little opener real quick. Just introduce each
Right,
other,
listen up.
Okay.
and then we'll get into the first question. We'll
Okay.
just do a little quick intro.
Okay, so this
Yeah,
is
and
stand
I'll
up.
lead it.
Are we looking at any cameras here, or?
This is your 2-shot right here.
Okay.
This is an ISO shot right here.
Good.
So,
Okay.
Vince, you're good there.
Am I a little dark?
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
Maybe a little more.
Hit it just a touch, let's see. I'm concerned about that back panel.
Oh, yeah. Okay, don't do that. Give me, I'll walk this line in just a touch.
Yeah. Otherwise, the back gets blown up. So the first part we can keep it kind of short, just like a few seconds. I'll intro you,
You're
and
okay.
then
Safe.
maybe you can intro me or something.
Thank you.
And say,
Okay.
Yeah, we'll intro each other. Remember, we're going to edit everything, so it's
Okay.
all good. Yeah. So I'll say some good things about you. You can say some things about me, and then that'll be that. And then we'll get to the first question.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah, it is. I dim. I mean,
It's really dim, that's all. I wasn't, when I'm looking at Kevin's shot,
it was screaming a little too much though. Oh, you mean with that one?
it's not,
do me a favor, guys. It's real ISO.
Can I get up for a second?
Yeah.
But it's brighter than those.
yes.
All right, so you're behind the scenes. We're setting up. Let me know how the sound is. How you guys hearing the sound okay? They're on Facebook Live. Are you hearing the sound pretty well?
We're good.
All right, we're good. We're hearing the sound good.
Put
All
your
right,
phones back
Dr. Steve, here we go.
You're silent.
Just waiting for the camera format. Hold on a sec.
Who's asking the first question?
We're going to do a quick intro,
Yeah, we're just gonna do an open.
and then it doesn't matter.
You ready?
Okay.
Your choice.
Stand by, you guys. Here we go. Roll cams.
Rolling. Does it matter if it's sloppy?
And right.
And which, we're looking at this camera?
Thank you.
On the right, is that right?
2-shot
No.
is the big one in the middle.
Okay,
So,
cool. Got it, thank you.
I think the other's an ISO. That's,
Okay.
You know.
Correct.
So,
Good enough.
but we're talking to each other, right?
Yep.
I mean, occasionally maybe we We looked at a camera?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
We're
good.
speeding.
All right,
Okay.
stand by, I have a little issue on card slots.
Okay, we're good.
Rolling.
All right.
You're starting.
There you go, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
And I'll just
all
do
right.
some editing stuff for,
Okay.
for us.
Okay.
Okay, so,
Yeah, we're gonna roll ISO as well.
You
We
need to
wanna-
slate it then?
Everywhere. What's
You
that?
need to slate it.
I could slate it. I don't think we really need to do
all right, guys, now you see how much it takes to set things up. I can hear the sounds. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Steve. All right, Lori, thank you. The sound is super now. Awesome. All right, yeah, last video we had some air conditioning sounds, but thanks to these professionals here in the studio, they're able to block the AC sound. So that's what you get when you work with pros, and Kevin always does. So here we go.
Okay.
Actually, touch me, hit me up one.
Okay.
Sir, man.
Okay,
3-5.
there you go. Thank you.
So you have a time for cutting down line. Who started?
ISO's online.
I'll start.
Do you want me to start on the guest?
No.
Nope. Keep it up.
Got it.
Okay. Rolling, Jason.
We're good?
Speed.
All right, here we go, you guys. This is the open. Take one.
Oh, hold on, I didn't get slate.
Yeah, it wasn't,
Oh.
you weren't far enough. Second sticks. Marker.
All right, here we go. Stand by. We're coming in on the 2-shot. Right over here. In 3, 2.
Hi, I'm Dr. Steve G. Jones, and in this program, I'm interviewing Kevin Harrington, the original shark on Shark Tank. Kevin, thanks for being part of this.
Great to be here.
And
Thank you.
Thank you. And Kevin's going to be interviewing me. I'll be interviewing him. So let me tell you a little bit about Kevin. He is an entrepreneur of entrepreneurs. His net worth is off the charts. Go ahead and Google it. This guy is on the ball, always making things happen. He's an inspiration. He is the guy who gets things done. So thank you for doing this, Kevin.
Hey, well, Steve, I gotta, let me intro you in the process here too. You're a clinical hypnotherapist and a hypnotherapist to the stars. I mean, Beverly Hills, now Las Vegas. You've got 200 programs on the internet, your sites, and all these different self-improvement products, from losing weight, stop smoking, getting more confidence, actually in business, selling more and becoming more successful. So I like to talk about these kind of things because as an entrepreneur and someone that's been starting businesses and trying to build businesses, working with partnerships with other entrepreneurs, always want to have the strongest partner I can find. So sometimes they need a little help, and even on my own situation, sometimes a little boost of some thoughts and listening to some tapes is a good thing. So I call them tapes, but now they're, I guess, MP3s.
Yeah,
right?
it's going to change, and by next week it'll be something else. It'll be implanted in our brains, probably.
Right. So it's a pleasure to be here, and
Good.
thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Let's make this happen. Let's help some people, and let's change some lives.
Super. Fantastic.
All right, so that's our intro. We can just keep rolling into the first question.
Actually, let's cut it there. I'd just like to keep the questions separate segments.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so stop down for a second.
Okay.
Doesn't matter that you're on slot B.
And if you're watching on Facebook Live right now, this is live. This is Kevin Harrington live. And we're going to let you listen in on the first question in the program. So it's going to be a program that will be released later. We're going to ask each other questions. We help people, so we're going to let you listen in. And then we're going to stop it, but stay tuned a little bit longer because you'll learn something.
Super. Let's do it.
Let's do
All right,
this.
here we go. Slate.
Slate.
Stand by.
And we do not know the question yet.
Rolling.
Speeding.
Oh, do you not have the question?
Not yet.
How were you chosen to be on Shark Tank?
Okay, I will ask
Yeah.
Kevin.
Okay.
How are you chosen to be? Okay, ready?
Yep.
We rolling everywhere?
Yep.
All right, here's the slate.
Kevin Harrington, wonderful to talk with you. And in this module, I'd like to start.
Hold 1 second.
Okay.
Just gotta give us a couple of beats for him to get out before
Got
you
it.
start your question.
Like 2 or 3?
Yep, so
Okay.
anytime you're ready, we're good.
All right.
All right, here, I'm gonna count you in on
Okay.
on camera 2, okay? Stand by, here we go. In 3, 2.
Kevin Harrington, the original shark on Shark Tank. Thank you for helping people. Thanks for making yourself available. And, I think what a lot of people want to know is you're the original shark on Shark Tank. So How did that happen? How were you chosen to be that?
So I love to tell the story. It's kind of a cool story. I got a phone call, actually came through from, I say Mark Burnett, but his office, right? And of course Mark Burnett's behind the call, and Mark was doing a new show, right? And so they said, hey, we've got this new TV show we're producing, and we'd like for you to come to Los Angeles to meet personally, one-on-one with Mark Burnett. And I said, so, okay, well, can you tell me a little bit about the show? Because it's like, what, I'm just going to jump on a plane and fly to LA, right? I live in St. Pete, Florida. So I said, and I said, Mark Burnett, this is a pretty cool phone call to get, because I knew Mark Burnett was one of the top producers in all of Hollywood. The Survivor show, the Celebrity Apprentice, The Apprentice, Donald Trump, right? And so, at the time, now The Voice, right? And, I mean, some of the amazing stuff. So, I said, so what is the show? Tell me about it before I jump on a plane and come out there.
Were you skeptical about it at all?
Well, first of all, I'm thinking, is this just like they just want to pick
Casting.
my brains about something, right? They really wanted me to be on the show, or what was it, right? So they said, well, it's a show called Shark Tank. And so I joke now, I say, well, what's funny, I don't know that I want to be on that show. I said, because I know what Mark Burnett does to them on the Survivor show on the island, okay? And I'm
So
like,
they can be in a tank in the
thinking,
water.
yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I want to be on Shark Tank. See,
Right.
you got to remember, this is before Shark Tank ever existed.
Nobody knows what
Nobody
it is.
knew what it was.
Yeah.
And so when I actually finally did do the deal, and I'm filming it, people are like, are you on some fishing show? It's
Right.
like, because I mean, it's
Kind of.
I'm like, how does it come out that this is a Shark Tank? Well, so anyway, I said, okay, I'll come to LA. I went to LA, I walk in, there's Mark Burnett, and he's like, listen, this is how it works. There's 5 sharks, right? We got Barbara Corcoran, she's, and actually at that particular moment, nobody had signed yet to be a shark, but he's negotiating with all these different people. And I said, who are these sharks going to be? These are investors, he's telling me, right? Okay. And these 5 investor sharks at the front of the room. There's a curtain in front of you, and entrepreneurs, product owners, inventors are going to come out and pitch. And they get 3 minutes to pitch, and you have 3 minutes to make up your mind whether you're going to invest in their idea or not. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. I said, you know what? I like that. Okay. So, so think about it this way. That actually is what I do on a day-to-day basis. In fact, when this phone call happened, it was 2008, I'm sitting there in Mark's office, and I said, Mark, I've done this over, tens of thousands of times, taking pitches. I go to trade shows, I go to the houseware show, the hardware show, etc., take these pitches and then invest in these ideas. I've done 500 plus investments in projects, and some of them work, some of them don't, but the good ones pay off, right? So I think I can do that. That's no problem. And he said, well, it's funny because we've got other sharks. We're talking to Barbara Corcoran. She's in real estate, but she does real estate deals, but she's never taken a pitch from, someone with a product, so that's why they had focused on me. So getting back to your question, how did I get picked? They had all these people coming to Shark Tank now, so the show wasn't out yet, but they were advertising. Have an idea? We're filming a new show. You got to bring us your ideas and your products, or you need capital. We're filming a new show. So they know how to. Before American Idol ever aired, they had people that wanted to sing, right? So the people show up. So he said, you are somebody that we've been seeing all over the place as I call it a key person of influence. Mm-hmm. And so I said, what do you mean? So I had a book that had just come out the book was titled Act Now, How I Turn Ideas into $1 Million Products. But I was doing radio shows and I was promoting my book all out and around, right? So little did I know, but Mark Burnett and his team, they were all looking on the internet to see who's like a product person that we might be able to get to come in to Shark Tank. To
You were everywhere.
And they were seeing me everywhere.
Right.
So I say that, writing a book, promoting the book, raising my profile was part of it was in my DNA to do that, but it also then got me to a point where people like Mark Burnett saw this happening, wanted to just talk with me, and that didn't get me the job on Shark Tank, but what it did was I got to Mark Burnett, he loved the conversation, and then he said, you know what, can you go next door, and it was in the same building, and do a little test. I said, what, audition? And he said, well, I didn't want to use that word, but yeah, okay.
Just to check you out.
Yeah, so I went in this room, and there was, a few people in there, and it wasn't like full of people, but, they wanted to show a tape to ABC executives, and so they also wanted to show it to Sony. So Sony owned the format. It was called Dragon's Den. I don't know if you know that or not, but it was called Dragon's Den in Canada and also in Japan. Sony owned it. And so Sony owned the kind of the franchise of what Shark Tank was, and then ABC was maybe going to give it distribution, and Mark Burnett was going to be the producer, and they were negotiating with a bunch of sharks. So, and what was funny is that when we went in the other room, we role played as if somebody was coming on with a product, and so they pitched me, and then they saw how I got into, okay, well, what's the competitive analysis, and what other products are like this, and what, it was just so natural for me to take that pitch and to deal with all the questions that I would come up with in my mind that, they said, wow, that was great. You did a good job. Well, little did I know, that's all I needed to do to pass the test. So, it was a few weeks later, they called me and said, you're going to be our original shark. And I'm like, okay, that's amazing. So from there, they ended up then locking in other sharks, and they got Dame and John. Of course, they had the two dragons from Canada that they were negotiating with. Funny thing is, one of them couldn't get a visa approved yet, Robert Herjavec.
Wow.
So they didn't even know, literally until the night before the shoot, whether he was going to be able to come into the country or not to shoot. So there was a lot of, in fact, the night that we showed up, before we taped, there were 6 of us there, and they came on. Mark Burnett said, by the way, tomorrow there's only going to be 5 of you filming. One of you is not going to be a shark.
It is Survivor.
And,
You're right.
yeah, and I'm thinking, are we being taped right now? Is this part of the show, right? So anyway, I passed the test, whatever it was, and 5 of us of the 6 went forward, and we shot the show. And I had a great time shooting Shark Tank. This now was 2008, and so actually, I'm sorry, 2009 then had come about. So from the phone call to the meeting was a number of months, and getting organized to go meet, and then so we met, then we shot the pilot, and we shot the pilot in 2009, and then boom, it just pretty quickly took off. So it was an amazing process. I loved it.
Very nice. So let me ask you really quickly, what are the takeaways that somebody can get from this? I mean, people who are watching this think, well, I'm probably not going to be a shark on Shark Tank, but I'm hearing a lot of preparation meets opportunity, and I know that people can do that. What else can they take away?
So, okay. So let's say it's your local chamber of commerce, and they're looking for a speaker. What are they doing? They're going on the internet to see who does this or that. You got to be constantly raising your profile.
Okay.
And I talk about this. I know we're going to be talking about becoming a key person of influence.
Yeah.
But when you raise your profile, you're promoting your business, so you're going to get phone calls. But it's just a good thing to be known as the expert in your industry, right? So when you're the expert, if you're in real estate, you're getting the big listing phone call, right? Do you deal with big celebrities? Do you deal with the ball players? Do you deal with, how do you position yourself to get the best phone calls? And that's part of what I did as an entrepreneur. And I think that's the major takeaway, is that I didn't know that Mark Burnett was going to be making that call, but by raising my profile and creating, myself as an authority and an expert in my industry, when somebody needed an expert in that industry, I got the call.
Excellent answer, and thank you so much. Appreciate that, Kevin. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing that, and we'll join you in the next module. Thanks, Kevin.
All right.
Okay.
Great.
Stop down, we're clear.
Okay.
That's the first one.
All right. Good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure out a wrap up for each ending. Plus, we'll edit it. I'm going to go ahead and sign off with the Facebook viewers here. So, Kevin, any final words of wisdom for the Facebook viewers
They're
here?
going to miss all the rest of the day.
They're
right?
going to miss the day.
That's
We're going to film a
unfortunate
lot
for
of
them.
a
So,
lot of information
I mean,
here.
I guess I would say tune in soon because that was one of about 7 or 8 that we're going to be doing. But we do this on a regular basis. We have a lot of fun backstage.
Running.
Hi, Dr. Steve here,
Okay.
and we
Good.
are live again behind the scenes. This is behind the scenes.
Okay, cool.
This stuff most people normally don't see. I'm with Kevin Harrington, the original shark on Shark Tank, right there. We're getting mic'd up and ready to shoot, filming a new program where we interview each other. So I'm going to let you listen into one more segment of it. Had you listened to a segment earlier, here's one more. So this is live. This is stuff people normally don't see. There's Kevin ready to roll. He is live. And I'm just going to let the camera roll and let you watch.
You know, it'd be cool for anyone watching. They're watching the live behind the scenes.
Yeah.
When you get these finished, edited, and all that.
Right.
You know, to bring them back and maybe show people the behind the scenes stuff and then the
Oh,
final
yeah,
edits.
yeah. That's good,
You know,
yeah.
it's kind of neat to see how, you know, it's like being behind the scenes when a movie's produced and, you know, a lot of the actors, they don't see, they're jumping through things and they don't even know what it's going to look like until they see the movie.
Right, yeah.
You know
I've
what I
heard
mean?
that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was
so
surprised.
Brian says the question is, how does the subconscious mind work?
Okay. How does the subconscious mind work? Sounds good.
Okay?
All right.
All right.
Who? Oh, okay.
I like it. All right.
How does the subconscious mind work?
That's he's gonna ask me that
He's gonna
next.
do that, yeah.
Yep.
Here we go, you guys. This is our last take.
Roll 5.
Okay.
Roll everywhere.
Camera speeds.
Sticks.
His microphone's sticking out a little bit.
Got it?
Who's?
Which one?
If you're just tuning in on Facebook Live, this is behind the scenes, getting to see
From my angle.
Kevin Harrington, the original shark on Shark Tank, and myself film a new program.
Vince is behind. Sweet. Vince, like,
Oh,
Vince after dark.
yes, wake up.
Ready?
Yes, number. Good.
How does the subconscious mind work? Coming in on your 2-shot in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Kevin Harrington here. I'm with one of my favorite guests, Dr. Steve G. Jones, a clinical hypnotherapist, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the subconscious mind. And in a previous segment, we were talking about how conscious mind is at the tip of the iceberg, kind of above the water, but the subconscious mind is the big mass below the water kind of thing, right?
Yep, driving the show.
The visual of that's very powerful. But let's talk about how does that subconscious mind actually work?
Well, the subconscious mind, great question, by the way. The subconscious mind works by really running the show. So the subconscious mind's job is to be the driver. When you think you're doing things all by yourself, you think maybe you want to smoke or you want to overeat or you want to overspend. Actually, the subconscious mind works by telling you to do those things. And it almost sounds like it's working against us. I mean, when you think about it, it sounds like, what is this subconscious mind? It's telling us to do these terrible things.
Wow.
And so we often have payoffs, what Dr. Phil might call payoffs. People overeat because they don't want to be that slim, because maybe they had some pressure they didn't want when they were that slim. People overspend because they don't really want to be wealthy at a deep down level, because they don't feel comfortable being wealthy. They don't feel that, well, rich people are good. They were told rich people are not good. They smoke sometimes just because they don't feel that they have the power to quit. And I've worked with a lot of smokers, sometimes they say the cigarette is their best friend. You know, if everyone else leaves them, the cigarette will be there. It's the thing that makes them feel happy and the thing that calms them down.
Wow.
So there's a payoff. So the subconscious mind works by telling us these things. But if you think about it, in each of those 3 cases I just mentioned, there's a positive payoff. In the case of overspending, you get to avoid being a bad person, a rich bad person, or so you think. So your subconscious mind thinks. In the case of overeating, you get to avoid that unwanted attention. So you get to avoid having harassment or negative things happen. In the case of spending too much money, you get to avoid something with every one of them.
Right,
and
right.
anything we do where it seems the subconscious mind is working against us, believe it or not, it's working for us. So that's how it works, by doing what it thinks it's supposed to do.
Right. So, so obviously, what you work on is shifting what
Yeah.
the subconscious mind should tell people to do. Then, correct? So,
Right. That's
So you're
simple as that.
overeating, and you think that, oh, you're going to get too much attention if you lose weight and whatever. So how do you work to shift what the subconscious mind is thinking about? How does that work?
Another great question. So that works by creating a new association. So
Okay.
we've got to create a new association in the mind. The subconscious mind, remember, it is on our side. It's designed for our survival. So having extra weight is something that it sees as something that's good for us. So we've got to convince it of something not good for us. So actually, there are tremendous detriments in terms of having visceral body fat, the extra body fat that's working against us. It can cause early death. It can cause a lot of things in the meantime to happen. So the body fat that's underneath the muscles, that's actually contribute to things like fatty liver, for example. We know that that's horrible. We know in men that if they can lose that belly fat, their testosterone goes up pretty quickly because it just works that way. So that's the way the body's designed. These things are actually, so if we can part of it is education.
Right.
So we're educating the client about how these things are actually working against them, and part of it is changing those associations. So there's no longer a fear of losing weight. There's no longer a fear of stopping smoking. There's no longer a fear of having money. Getting rid of those fears.
So let me ask you, as a clinical type of an advisor, mentor to people, do things happen as people change that are physical happenings, like as you're losing weight, your skin, you get rashes, you get, if you stop smoking, you get withdrawal. How do people deal with some of the negative things that happen to their bodies as they're putting their subconscious mind into a different mode, and now, things happen, right? How do they deal with that?
Yeah, well, when you think about it, when you do lose weight, you can have extra body skin,
Right.
that's kind of negative. Well, you would have to go to a surgeon for that, to have
Okay.
that handled. But that's not a big deal. I mean, you should be happy, the person losing weight should be happy that they have lost that weight. They're going to live longer, healthier, feel better about themselves, and look better. Sometimes when people stop smoking because there is a physiological component to it, they are addicted to it, if you will, to the nicotine, they could have some form of withdrawal, so that's going to have to be dealt with. That's dealt with in the way I do it with hypnosis. It's built into it, so they're able to cope with it. Some people find that very challenging. That's why some people say stopping smoking is very difficult, because they find that they want to put their fist through a wall, for example, when they stop smoking. But when I do hypnosis, I always build that an outlet, a physical outlet for that extra anxiety they have. Normally it's anxiety driven, smoking is.
Okay.
So they need to find another outlet for that anxiety.
Okay, so that's part of the subconscious mind shifting gears involves the programming of how to deal with some of the things that are going to happen during the shift is occurring.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
we talk about things such as gaining money. If someone wants to figure out how they can program themselves to gain money and how they can deal with those things that might come up, one of the things to do is to get really clear on the contribution that you're going to make. You and I are contributors to the world. Everything that we do, the more benefit we get, that's the scoreboard. We know more people are benefiting. You don't get rich by just helping yourself. You get rich depending on, as we know, how many people you help and on how big of a scale. So one of the takeaways that people can get really clear on is the contribution they're going to make beyond themselves. Because a lot of times people who do these things, who have challenges with these things, have low self-esteem. And so they think that they're not worthy of this. And so if you just tell them they can do it because they're worthy of it, it's not going to help that much. If they know that it's going to benefit other people and not doing it is going to hurt other people, then they become a crusader to stop that.
Yeah, so you can actually probably program the subconscious mind to almost look at the negative things that they're temporary. It's transitional, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's part of the process. That
Yeah.
almost like a no pain, no gain kind of thing?
Right.
Does that make sense in your world?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's going to be a little bit of struggle. That's normal with anything. There's going to be a little bit of struggle. There's going to be the potential for sabotage.
Right.
Let's look at wealth. When people start making money, they can start to feel uncomfortable. They can start to feel, oh, maybe I don't deserve this, or how much is too much? Especially in a world like this, especially
Right.
in internet-based marketing, which you and I are both involved
Yeah.
in. There's really no limit. We can make unlimited amounts of money. So you start
Right.
to think, how much is enough? How much is
Right.
too much? So there can be pain of that sort. So what I would say to anyone who's interested in doing that, you've got to prepare yourself. You've got to prepare yourself for the change. And one of the best ways you do that is by starting to associate with other people who are already living that change and realize these are good people, these are quality people, these are people who contribute. They're not evil like our parents may have said. They're good people. And then you open yourself to that possibility. Another thing that I find that helps in terms of practical steps is having affirmations. I use affirmations. I write them on my mirror. I put them on a Post-it note, or
Okay.
sometimes I actually write them on the mirror. And you can erase them with a green scrubby. No one scrubs the mirror
Right.
when you're done, when you want to change them. But I always phrase it in the here and now.
Okay.
I make it as if it's already happened, and I'm very specific. If there's a certain amount of money that I want to make, I'm very specific. If there's a certain car I want, I'm very specific. Very specific.
Right.
So phrasing in the here and now, having it as if it's already happened, stated, and being very specific. Those things really help a lot.
Right. So programming the subconscious mind to deal with some of these negative things, almost as if, when I think of, in sales, I remember I would warn people that hey, you're likely to maybe, after you've made this purchase, think maybe you shouldn't have made this purchase. But so, that's a natural thing to be thinking about. In the subconscious mind, it's preparing them for the fact that there's going to be some tough times that they may be not able to deal with, but that's part of the process. And once they get through that, they're set. And then the last point of that, and maybe this is a takeaway, I didn't realize that you said you refer people to almost like a network. Is that part of being a clinical hypnotherapist? Is that a takeaway here that we could be talking about?
That's great. It's not officially part of it, but I want people to have a support group. If you're not smoking
Okay.
anymore, stop hanging around smokers. Don't go on the
Okay.
smoking break. If you want to stop drinking, stop going out to bars and hanging around those
Okay.
people. At least until you're strong enough.
Right.
If you want to stop gambling, don't go to casinos. If you want to make more money, hang around wealthy, successful people.
Okay.
These are things, because our social influence is always going to have a very, very strong impact on who we are, because birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah, it's funny. Hey, if you got some wealthy people you want me to hang around with, let's do it. I like hanging out with wealthy
go.
people. You know why? Have you ever heard the term, your net worth equals your net work? Okay?
That's
so
great,
who
yes.
you network with
Yeah.
is going to benefit you to increase your net worth. So,
Yeah.
so that's part of change your mind, elevate yourself,
Yeah.
and now hang with the right people. And, if it's a money thing, you're going to be hanging with the wealthy people, and you're going to be getting opportunities that can increase your wealth.
Absolutely, very well put.
Yeah. So I think any last takeaway?
I think that's a very good point that you made about the networks. I think the takeaway would be that when you work on something like hypnosis, working with your subconscious mind in any way, it's not just a matter of a magic wand and making things happen, although hypnosis is a big part of it. It's a matter of work. It's a matter of practical steps that you can put in place that are going to have a solid, ongoing difference. They're going to make a solid, ongoing difference in your life.
Great. Just, I think maybe to summarize, it's not just snap your fingers and it's done. Whatever changes you're going to make, it requires getting some good advice, somebody like yourself, but also executing kind of a plan.
Yeah.
And, and sometimes there's a little bit of pain involved, but
Yep.
Once you get through it, it's a very positive thing, and onward from there. So that's
Absolutely.
great. So thanks. Hope you got something out of this for those that are listening, and good having you with us today.
Thanks, Kevin.
Dr. Steve G. Jones. Kevin Harrington, signing off.
Stop down. All right, you guys.
Is that
That's
four?
it.
All right.
All right,
Okay,
good stuff,
bud.
man.
That's it.
All right.
I think we
Hold
work
on.
well together.
Absolutely.
Do we want to get room tone?
I think you got plenty of it.
Dr. Steve here, live, talking to you now. on Facebook. Thanks for joining. This is probably going to be our last broadcast today. I just wanted to give you guys a sample of what we're doing, what Kevin and I are doing, and of how you can create products, how you can make things happen. Hello, Ida. Hello, Edie. Hello, Brenda. Hello, everyone. Hello, Sonia. Thank you all for joining in. And we're going to wrap up now. Kevin and I have had a wonderful time here filming in St. Pete, and we're going to end this, and I've got to take care of some other things, and I love Florida. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Go ahead and like this. Go ahead and share this with your friends, and I will look forward to talking with you next time. I'm Dr. Steve, hoping you have an outstanding day.